I'm not sure if this is a hot take or not in relation to Nike versus Shoe Surgeon, but it will go against a lot of things I see in comment sections right now. So let's dive into it. If you didn't catch my recent video on my thoughts, first initial thoughts in relation to Nike suing the Shoe Surgeon, and also the academy that he runs in which he teaches individuals how to customize based on his own methods, and that's opened a door. It's not a door that just recently opened, only because if you watch that video, then you know that they've sent him cease and desist for some time. And again, I would highly encourage you watch that video. It dives into a lot of different things. But this one today, in the comments sections right now, it doesn't matter the sneaker publication, Twitter, Instagram, again, YouTube, it doesn't matter. People will say, this is a stupid play by Nike, and instead they should hire him to actually design sneakers for them. This is widespread. Now, I'm seeing this from a lot of people that I can only safely speculate are traditional consumers, meaning you don't actually work within the industry, you don't work directly with brands, you don't necessarily freelance with brands, and some do, right? There are some freelance creatives that are making this same statement, but this is why I personally think I wouldn't even accept that invitation if I was Shoe Surgeon, okay? So when it comes to this industry, I think a lot of consumers and even aspiring designers, right? The Mount Everest, the end all be all, the true sentiment of you making it within all of this is to say that you work for Nike in some capacity. It's to say that you design sneakers for them, and that's it. Like, you've reached it. You're at the top of the pyramid. You have done all that you could hope to do. I think some people feel that way when we see the post of all of the different brands that are listed, what you would get with each brand. And I always find it comical that you get the least amount in terms of value if it's Nike or Jordan, but because you'll get a lifetime supply of retros and sneakers, and mind you, product, it will always be like the lowest cost thing for them to provide for you. I'm just letting you know that. For people that are seated things, please understand that that is the lowest cost thing that a brand can provide you. That is why some will tell you over time they would prefer to actually just work with the brands in a capacity in which they're paid, not necessarily product, because the product itself like that doesn't end up paying the bills. Side tangent, but a lot of people will just want the retros and the Nikes for life, and they'll take less pay versus, let's say, Under Armour or Puma or Adidas or any other brand, but you get a much higher value or much higher ROI. That's just where a lot of people stand, right? The orange Kool-Aid, the Jordan Kool-Aid, it's drank in mass by a lot of consumers. And I think people automatically assume, well, to work for Nike would be the highest, the best thing that you could ever achieve. But if you think about how creatives work, right? There will be, I think, creators where that is exactly what they want to do, to be in the brand, to contribute to the legacy and the history of whatever it is that that brand creates and they put out in the world, especially in footwear. But you also have the other ones in which their creative minds, it's amazing, it's brilliant, we can't deny that. But do you know how many creatives don't want to be confined and restricted and told exactly what to do, when to do, how to do it? They're not much different than entrepreneurs who don't want to be told all of those things if they have to report to someone. They just don't. And so I think people underestimate the amount of red tape and bureaucracy and everything that goes into you working for one of the bigger brands. It's not different than you working for anywhere else within corporate America. You think you can just do any and everything that you want? No, most don't get that privilege. You're not able to do that. So to be able to want to design and create and remix and remaster every and anything that you want, you wouldn't have that freedom. You're still going to be told like what to bring to market based on the overall vision and intention and how they need to appeal to all stakeholders and shareholders. It's not just going to be a free-for-all. It's not a blank check of creativity. And he's not some small designer. I think also people are saying, oh, Nike is just, they're punching down on the little guy. In a sense, yeah, because of course what their market cap is and their resources versus any other person that's maybe not like another bigger player in whatever market they're in. But let's be real here, okay? Not a little fish. This man has collaborated with some of the biggest brands in the world. He's collaborated with Gucci, for Christ's sake. Like, Tom is not like just some fly-by-night designer or creator within footwear. So also, would you want him to take on more restrictions and also lesser pay? Because I can promise you, I don't think, listen, this is speculation. I don't think you're about to get paid just being a designer within the brand of what you can get on your own as a freelancer. Just as a creative that gets to really have full autonomy of the projects you take on, the rate in which you want to charge. And there are people that are willing to pay that. Like, there's a lot that goes into working with the brands, and it's not to say that it's not a once in a lifetime experience and it feels amazing. Yes, it does. And this is, of course, not to say that people wanting to aspire to work within these brands as designers is anything bad. Not at all. But I can 100% see him saying, even if he were offered it, no thanks. Like, it logically just wouldn't make sense. Yes, I know that he's creating pairs of his own in which they're taking on the entire trademark, aesthetic, silhouette, everything of current models right now that are owned by Nike and Jordan, hence why they can sue him for that. But that's still different from you being told explicitly what you can and can't do all of the time. Because yeah, you're going to face some type of consequence. We'll see how far that goes in relation to using their trademarks and what they feel is misleading and misrepresenting in the market itself. But you still wouldn't be able to just do any and everything you want within a brand just because you work for them. That's not how that works either. So for everyone saying Nike should just hire him, that would probably be a bad economical decision on his part just to go work for them, unless they're really just going to pay him whatever he would want or what he can demand in the market right now. And I don't think that's the case. I just don't. We don't know his finances, but if you have reached these heights, you're still going to end up having to work within a salary range that they are likely giving you with all of the other restrictions that come with it. Like, if you work for just a brand as an employee, you don't get to just wear any type of footwear that you want anymore. Like, I hope that's also not lost on consumers. The second you sign and you work with that brand, you don't get to just start wearing whatever it is that you want on your free time. You don't get to just wear New Balance, Adidas, and Vans, and no, that's gone. That's no longer on the table. All the pairs that you have, you get to lock them away until you're no longer employed with that brand. Now, some of you are perfectly okay with that because you truly are only Nike and Jordan heads and there is zero diversity in that lineup for you. So that works perfect for you. But for anyone else, that's not what you want. Like, I don't have a deep burning desire to just work within one of these brands. I love the blessings that I have in terms of working with them one-on-one for projects that are here and there. And I get the, again, amazing opportunity. And I'm grateful to be able to choose what I want to work on and don't want to work on because I don't work within this industry. So I can take on the things that I would like to take on. But something long-term in which you are dictating what I can and cannot do, no, I would not care for that. Personally, I wouldn't. So these are just my thoughts that, again, it could be a hot take on everyone saying Nike should just hire him. Sure, it could possibly be in Nike's best interest to hire him. I don't think it would be in his best interest to go work for them. Just my thoughts. Please go ahead and share yours below. Be sure to check out the recent video that I did breaking down my initial thoughts on this lawsuit to see where it goes. It could certainly change custom sneakers or how they're viewed or perceived within the courts, which will say a lot within footwear. So check that out. Thanks for tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.